This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Got some big updates to share with you. SNAP benefits are increasing in multiple states. I'll let you know which states and how much. We'll go over the latest stimulus check articles like this. $1,800 stimulus check is waiting for you in April. Are you eligible? And this one, why new coronavirus stimulus checks could come soon. We'll go over the latest of what's going on with the Build Back Better plan. Is Manchin on board or not? The White House said that they're going to have insurance companies reimburse for at-home COVID tests. And there's been some drama between President Biden and former President Trump calling each other out due to January 6th, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So yesterday was an epic day. On January 6th anniversary, Biden calls out Trump for a web of lies about 2020 election. Also right here, January 6th anniversary, Biden blames Trump for insurrection and speech at Capitol. So President Biden, among many other lawmakers in Congress, gave a bunch of speeches. It basically flooded all the news outlets yesterday, and that was pretty much all that was spoken about. So one of the things that President Biden said is, for the first time in our history, the president had not just lost an election, he tried to prevent peaceful transfer of power as a violent mob breached the Capitol, among a few other things. And former President Trump never really takes those type of things lightly. So Trump hits back, saying Biden trying to further divide America to distract from failures. What former President Trump said is, Biden used my name today to further try to divide America. This political theater is all just a distraction for the fact Biden has completely and totally failed. He said, our country no longer has borders, has totally and completely lost control of COVID record numbers, is no longer energy independent, inflation is rampant, our military is in chaos, and our exit or surrender from Afghanistan was perhaps the most embarrassing day in the long and distinguished history of the United States, and so much more. Let me know your thoughts on this. Former President Trump versus President Biden, this tit for tat type of thing. Let me know your thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on January 6th last year in general? So moving on, why new coronavirus stimulus checks could come soon. So what this article is talking about is actually the new type of stimulus program that is just for restaurants, gyms, and businesses. So the relief would specifically help businesses such as restaurants, performance venues, gyms, and even minor league sports teams that could face trouble from another wave of COVID-19, according to the Washington Post. So it also says it's unclear if the new round of spending would include stimulus checks to the American people. So at this point, the new stimulus package is just for stimulus checks for restaurants and gyms, not necessarily for individual people. So no general force stimulus check yet, but in terms of other stimulus check news, paychecks, fourth stimulus check 2022 update, automatic bonus $5,200 payments being sent now as calls for monthly $1,400 boosts grow. So what this is talking about is a few different stimulus check articles here. So one, there's qualifying residents that could receive $250 bi-weekly, and other recipients will receive two payments of $3,000 each a year. That's going on in Newark, New Jersey. Then there is the $5,200. So basically anyone part of the Navajo tribe, adults get $2,000, children get $600. So if you were to have two adults, two children, that's where the $5,200 comes into play. And then for the $1,400 check, basically they're saying that more people want a fourth national stimulus check of $1,400. So far, no general fourth stimulus check yet, as mentioned. Also, this article, $1,800 stimulus check is waiting for you in April. Are you eligible? Not necessarily the case here. So this is just talking about the child tax credit. So you could even get this before April. If you want to get the other half of your child tax credit, if you have a kid under 6, you could get that maybe as soon as January 15th or whenever taxes start to roll out, or you could start to file taxes. SNAP benefits are increasing in multiple states due to all of the high food prices that are going on. So emergency SNAP food benefits for Texans extended through January. So all SNAP households will receive a minimum of $95 in emergency allotments that should appear in their accounts by January 31st. Then we have Virginia, right? Is it? Yeah, Virginia. We have emergency SNAP benefits will continue through January. So in Virginia, the the money will go on the cards starting January 16th, and it'll be $250 for each person or $459 for two people, and then here are the numbers right here. Then we also have Kansas. So Kansas extends the emergency food assistance for thousands of families as well. So it's going to help out 63,000 households across the state who are on the SNAP program. And the continuance of emergency allotment is affected through July 31st, 2022. It doesn't say specifically how much is going to go for each person. So a lot of different SNAP programs going on there. And President Biden says insurance companies will reimburse you for at-home COVID tests starting next week. So President Biden also mentioned the federal government will launch a website this month where you could get an at-home COVID test shipped to your home. Probably by the end of the month, they said that they would have that up and going. Although they said probably next week, but President said if you're insured, you can buy the test and get paid for it. So it's if you want a COVID test at home to take it, insurance company will pay for it, according to President Biden and the White House. What's going on with the Build Back Better? Is the Build Back Better Act dead or just drifting? Well, it all depends on this guy right here, Joe Manchin. Is he in? Is he out? So it looks like he's still getting a lot of pressure, including Bill Clinton, Oprah, and his fellow centrists. Dems go all out to sway Manchin. So I guess the Clintons are getting involved in this too. So yeah, I guess they're trying to do whatever they can to try to sway Joe Manchin. Here is more details of exactly what's going on with that whole situation.
Let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman, who's been following the months-long discussion, a very drawn-out debate that didn't lead to much last year. What's changed in the new year?
Well, let's review. Manchin said at the end of December he just could not vote for the Build Back Better legislation as it was written in Congress. And he was the needed 50th vote, so the Democrats couldn't pass it. So Manchin has actually indicated what he would be willing to vote for. Basically, it's take out that child tax credit, either take that out or keep it included, but provide the funding to keep it in place for, let's say, 5 to 10 years, something that looks less gimmicky than just 1 year extension of that tax credit. So if that's the way the legislation goes, though, that's going to upset other elements within the Democratic Party who insist that that child tax credit has to be in there. So the real question is whether President Biden can just get Democrats on the same page. I mean, there are a number of things that I think all Democrats could agree on in that legislation. Climate change funding, for example, green energy transition funding for that. But it's getting everybody to agree to give up some things, and that's what it's going to take to get this over the finish line. We're probably not even going to get to this, though, until late January, because in the meanwhile, Democrats are going to be trying to pass election reforms that really have no chance of passing for all the reasons we're familiar with. It will get no Republican support. There's not enough votes to get rid of the filibuster in the Senate and so on. So the short story here is Congress is not going to be accomplishing much anytime soon.
Yeah, Rick, just to hit on that filibuster point one more time. I mean, that's another thing that it sounds like Senator Manchin not in favor of. And for, I guess, a refresher for some of our viewers out there, what that even means. I mean, how impactful is that in terms of deadlocking anything that maybe more progressive Democrats wanted to get done?
Right. Look, nothing is going to change on the filibuster. It's a big story in Washington, D.C. if there seems to be a little movement this way or that way. I think ordinary people can just completely ignore that because nothing is going to change. The filibuster, again, requires 60 votes to basically to pass legislation. And because Democrats only have 51 votes, they can't get anything done unless they get at least 9 Republican votes. They did, let's remind everybody, they did pass an infrastructure bill that did get some Republican votes, so it did overcome the filibuster. So it's possible to do that. Democrats just are not putting forth any legislation that has Republican support. So that is going to be the story for the rest of 2022. And I think it's important to point out that if Democrats don't get this Build Back Better legislation passed by, let's say, the first 2 or 3 months of the year at the most, then it's probably dead because Congress just does not get anything done really as we get closer to midterm elections. And members of Congress, basically, they want to be campaigning, not passing legislation that might be controversial.
So what are your thoughts? Is anything ever going to get done with the Build Back Better? Should it include more aid for the American people, like individuals, like unemployment insurance, stimulus checks, or help out people on fixed income? What are your thoughts on all this? Let me know down in the comments below. And that is all the stimulus news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is a tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing when you feel sad, you have to do something that you really want to make you feel better or make you feel true. Or you can also, if you help somebody, then you'll feel even better or something. Or if something's really into you and you're really feeling good, you should do that as well. Bye, this is Bella. This was the tip of the day.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. And I always say that every video, but I really do appreciate your support for watching continuously. Today is the last day of my juice cleanse, so I get to eat actually chew on something tomorrow, and I feel pretty good. Everything's good, energy's good, but I'm really excited to start eating again. So start that again tomorrow. I'll keep you updated of how my first meals go in tomorrow's video, or actually 2 days from now. If you want to check out my latest Wise Vibes video, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.